Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Today is your favorite time of the week, which is watching my Monday morning shopping spree. But first, I'd like to let you know that I am the owner of YieldMight.com. I do receive ad revenue from the website, but this video is not sponsored. So, today is a little bit special because I had some money in my checking account for my personal loan. So we had $473 added to my margarine account instead of $200 today. So that's nice. But then that means I have extra money. So I actually opened up a new sheet in my dividend tracker, and this is what we're going to do today. So for T-SPY, I want to get this to 100 shares, and then we can stop for now. So we're actually going to buy, order shares, and we're going to do 2.641114 shares. And that should get us exactly 100 shares. And so now I have 100 shares, and that cost me $61.26, which is nice. I just want to make sure that we stay on track here. And then HCOW is definitely nothing that should ever be prioritized, but I'm only 4 away from 100 shares of this. And once we get to 100 HCOW, I'm never buying HCOW ever again. Not any problems with HCOW, just I don't actually need more of this. So the bid-ask spread on this, it says it's $23.05, and this is $23.02, $23.11. So limit order, and we're buying, we can do $23.10, and that's just when it gets triggered. And we're going to buy 4 shares. And I always do the extended stuff just in case. It doesn't cost extra. So, and the total cost was $92.40. I just really dislike waiting around. So, although sometimes people put in ridiculous orders and they're in over the weekend, like the 24-hour markets, and sometimes you can buy stocks are really cheap when you happen to have an order out and there's very low volume. Like their account got liquidated, like margin called, and it happened over the weekend, and there's no other, buyout orders out there. I don't think it happens very often. Like, it's kind of legendary, but it's something you could do, I guess. Anyways, we are talking about, this is my SDTY. This is going to get me 250 shares of this, and this is already almost 5% of my portfolio. So after we get this to a vanity level, we no longer need any more of this. So the bid-ask spread on this is $39.71 and $39.90. So we're gonna do 39.85, I guess, and then shares 4, and changing this to extended and all of that. Review, buy. Okay, so $159.40, and that is fine. And then next we have, I'm actually, so like, depending on how you look at my portfolio, between 30 and 40% of my portfolio is in inverses, and I'm up 2.31%, and the SPY is up 0.12% today. So there's something unbalanced in my portfolio. And even if I go to like QQQ, it's not up that much. So the culprit here, 0.3% versus 2.3%. And let's now go to QQQI. This one, because it's $50, I'm just going to do a limit order. It's $50.39 versus 50.40. So 50.40 shares, just the one. 24-hour market, and just making sure that review. I'm talking and okay. So 50.44. Anyways, we were talking about, yeah, the culprit here, I think, are my leaps options and the contracts that they're worth, because, and it's on the SLV. I'm pretty sure it's SLV, and I'm pretty sure it's those SLV contracts that have been wildly making my portfolio do what it's doing. Because otherwise, like, my SLV portion has an inverse on it. I have a really large amount in SLTY and YQQQ and in winter, and so it's a little bit of a wild ride in my portfolio right now. And there's nothing to complain about on good days. Like, I'm almost at $74,000. Well, yeah, almost at $74,000 already, which is nice. It's just that it's not very stable in the market right now. So I also outperform on the down days, which is concerning. But hey, such is life. So next we have TDAC, which I want to buy 2 shares. The limit price, so it's, what did I click on? Wow, no, I did not mean to click on that. Thank you. $23.91 and $24.04. So, 24.03, sure. And then 2. And the 24-hour market, and July 5th. Wow, that is really far in the future. Okay. Bye. And I just want to make sure, because this is a margin account, so it's not going to tell me exactly how much money I have left over. I could spend $16,000 today if I wasn't careful. So I only wanted to spend what I put into it today. So we got Biggie. And for Biggie, I'm just going to buy 1 share. So that's $48.94. Buy a limit order, $48.94, $49.01, so $49. 1 share going out. Big. Okay. Okay. So we have $12.71. So the last thing that we're going to do is go to SpyEye. And I would do like QLDY just to make sure that I have more income, because what happens is when your portfolio value goes down, it generally, like, the yield amount is not set on these, but 30% on something, when if it's going to be a static 30%, as your principal goes down, that 30% also goes down. What sometimes happens is when it's going down, the implied volatility goes up, so your yield goes up, and the NAV also goes down, so it depletes your NAV further. So when it goes back up and the implied volatility is not as much, you actually wind up getting paid less. But this is already 16% of my portfolio. So, and last week I was able to get enough money through my weekly trades and my distributions. So I'm going to go ahead with the assumption that getting into things like TDAC and QQQI and SpyEye, all of these things, they will over time, my yield on cost will be less because over time, SpyEye, QQQI, TDAC, Biggie, all of these the price will appreciate more relatively than things like SDTY, XDTE, QLDY, because just on the principle that those pay such a higher yield that they do cap your upside much more than some of these lower yielding ones. So that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. But now I have 100 shares of T-Spy. I'm not going to add to T-Spy for the moment. I'm probably going to add, SpyEye is always on the menu. HCow's at 100, so I don't need to add to that. Biggie, I was just going to get to 50 shares, so we're working towards that. And then I really do think that if we're going to have a further correction, buying into QQI and TDAC is the correct move. And also, if this is the beginning of a bull run, it's about to get more, so it would also be the correct move to be into QQI and TDAC. So I'll probably shift my focus more to QQI and TDAC now, but I'll still be contributing to SpyEye because the S&P 500 just isn't as volatile as the NASDAQ 100. This is my margin account. I do live off of this, so I need it to be relatively stable. So now we have $226.04 in my leverage trash account. This one's relatively easy, so I'm going to buy 2 shares of ISSB. Limit. So you can do 1897, 96, 95. 2 shares extended here by, and then I don't have to invest the exact same amount in ISSB and ISBG. I just like doing it because one of these is Bitcoin Gold and the other one's Bitcoin stocks, and I don't know, I like keeping it the same amount of stocks. So 1852, maybe 18, yeah, that's good. Then 2 shares extended there. So I set aside 100 of the $200 I transferred in here to do ISSB and ISBG. But today we did a little bit less than $50 each. So then YieldTI I only do when it's a bad day. YSpy is not the next of the things I'm going to do. So I think today we have 25 shares. We're doing increments of 5. So 25 shares of TDAX, 25 shares of TSIX. So we're going to do 5 shares of KYLD. So limit order. And how much money do I have? I have $151. So $151 you have to do an equal sign when it's 151 divided by 1898. So we're gonna do, and it's a shame we can't do 8 shares of this today, but we're gonna do $18 and 10 cents and 7 shares. Hopefully these just get bought right away. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is I'm giving up all hope of ever getting to the next 5 shares for Chippy. But once we get to the 5 shares of Chippy, we're not going to be doing that anymore. We're going to focus on YMAX. So yeah, we have 27 shares of KYLD. And then I don't think we're going to add more to Y Best or Semi either. So I think that's good. We'll just focus on YMAX for a minute. And then the reason why we're not going to do Y Best or Semi is that this is leveraged NASDAQ, this is leveraged S&P 500, this is leveraged S&P 500, and KYLD is like YieldMight, except it's curved, so it's a little bit less volatile, I guess you could say. I have more faith in Howard to, when the market is turning around, that they will catch the upside. Also, YieldMight is good for catching the upside, but this one is very, very price. Like, you have to be really careful about your entry points into this. So, I do have enough money to buy one share though. So we are below my cost basis on this. But we only buy on bad days for YieldMight. So we're going to do Chippy, like the plan says. Dollars $17.92. Okay. So we can look at Sailor Mooning, but I think what happened is because it is a short week that the Friday pairs that normally pay on Friday night and are in our account on Mondays actually didn't do that. So however much money I get from Misty in winter will be, bought tomorrow. So there's that. And so then we go back to my retirement account, and this has the same issue of, I don't think any of, hardly nothing that usually deposits into my account on Fridays actually deposited. And so there's that. So, what we're going to do with this is buy $5 in the SPY. Buy. And I'm not sure if you can hear my cat purring, but he's so loud and very, very much wants me to pay attention to him. So this is also not my retirement account. Okay. We got SPY and we have SPML. We'll also do $5 into this. And then SCHD. Just want to make sure that I don't go completely off the rails with everything. $5. Buy. And so now we have $23.32. Ooh, it's a palindrome of money left. So I really wanted to buy IBIT, but what we're going to do instead is go down here, and I don't have enough money to buy one share of this and one share of this, and I do like keeping those the same. So I think what we're going to do is, I don't know why KYLD is down today. We'll go ahead and put $5 into this as well. And then we are going to do the unhinged thing of putting a bunch of this money into T-Triple-Q. So I have $18.32 and my market value is $316. So I'm basically racing to 100 shares with this. I hopefully won't overpay too much for it. But I can't make any money from cover calls on it until I have at least, like 90 shares, because if I have 90 shares, I can sell it TQQQ and then sell puts with the money that I just sold it. Maybe 80%, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. But the thing about TQQQ is that it can go up it's 3x the NASDAQ 100. So if we're on a raging bull market, this could go up quite a lot of money. And so now's the time when we're recoverable. We're either still in this pullback and it's just a green Monday, or this is the start of another, like a relief rally situation. I don't know, but it is a play that I'm willing to make. So I think that's it for me for today for shopping. And hopefully, if you're a member, I'm also going to record a video of me doing my options, because I do need to roll over quite a few options today. And hopefully I'm not too in the money with any of the stuff, because I did wait a little bit after the market opened to start doing this. So I had to get myself ready with everything. So hopefully you all have a good week. And what are your plans for this week? And I really love to thank my members. I really do appreciate you all. You really make it so that doing these videos and doing YieldMight.com, making it more sustainable for me to do it full time. So thank you, CMST. You are amazing and welcome to the team. And Ren, Paul, Max Convexity, Nikita, Christian, Lil K, Brian, David, Shane, Leroy, BGP Automotive, Opinion Mind, Jetta, and American Royal Effects. You all are amazing. And my question for you for today is, what are your plans for the week? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.